his head, and I'm gonna crouch in my stance. I'm gonna start pushing him. He's gonna push back. I'm gonna push him and drive him. He's gonna try to move. He can move to his left. I'm gonna cut him off. He can move to his right. I'm gonna cut him off. And I'm gonna push him towards the outer circle. Once I get him outside the line, right there, we've won. We come run back to the middle, okay? I'm gonna go again. Wrist control, underhook, and he's gonna give me a little energy. And now I get to practice moving him, okay? If he moves to the side, I follow him until I get him to the edge and we go out of bounds. After I hit it 3 times, now it's gonna be his turn. Again, as a partner, I let him start in the middle. I give him an underhook, I give him his head position. He's gonna feel how dominant this position is. With your underhook, cup the shoulder, go ahead, right there. And then me, I don't just like let my arms float, I overhook. I get an overhook. Some people call it a whizzer. I don't really call it a whizzer in this position. It's a whizzer when I turn sideways and I start to do this motion. But for all intents and purposes, it's roughly the same thing, right? With a slightly different angle. So just so you know terminology, overhook. He has underhook, I have overhook. He goes head position, crouch in our stance. I give him some pressure like I'm trying to battle him. He's gonna practice pushing me. Okay, if I try to circle, he cuts me off. I can't off balance him. Notice while he's pushing me to the edge, if I were to try to like shake him, he has good stability. He uses his head in the pocket. He won't let me escape either, okay? And if I were to disengage and back up, just kind of keep real close and kind of push me out. So if I try to run away, he's all over me, okay? You guys see that? You can control my wrist, you can control the underhook, head in good position, controlling the tie-up. Let's go, 1, 2, 3. So it's just the same thing with the wrist. See that? So we're not in this position. Head position is here. Okay, it kind of keeps my head out. It kind of makes us perpendicular to each other. Even if I try to square up against Danny, he has a slight angle with his hip. So his left hip is pointing at me, and now he can kind of push. It gives him, see how his right leg, he's got a back leg and he can push. And I can't really steer Danny. Now don't let me escape this way. You got to cut to the middle. There you go. And then you guys are also learning, no, that's too far. So if you guys, stay. If he's here, now I can circle this way. Now look whose back is to the middle. He's gonna put his back to the middle, and then he's always gonna cut me off. So cutting someone off doesn't mean circled. Because if I move this way and he moves that way to his right, that's how he's supposed to cut it off. But if he continues and goes a little too far, now I can cut back this way. Now look whose back is to the outside. So just make sure you're always steering the guy. Okay, so if I go here, and then, yeah, you went too far again. Yeah, that's it. You see, at the same time I'm pushing him too, so he gets to feel pressure. Yeah, you gotta take me out, good. Get me outside the circle, and then we go again. And the more you do that, you're gonna get great balance, great awareness of the tie-up, learn how to dominate, okay? So head in the pocket, side of the underhook. 1, 2, 3. Let's show this. This is really important. Here, bring it in. Bring it a little tighter. Look at this lesson. First, snapshot picture right here. What is different? Study the head. His head position. So instead of the underhook man having head position, the overhook guy has head position. So it's not wrong. It's not about wrong or right. It's just different. Not what we've been going over. So the first way, what was your name again? Jake. The first way that Jake dealt with it, and just allow it, Nick, is he did a nice little move. He chucked the underhook and he got his head position. It looks pretty good, right? It's pretty solid. Let's do that again. Just show it again. Same thing. Just kind of lift him and get that head position. See that? That totally makes sense. It seems like it's going to work really good. The problem is Nick's not really resisting too much. And I'm not saying it'll never work, but it isn't that effective. And here's why. All I want Nick to do is just to kind of clamp his overhook and just be real strict on keeping your head right where it is. So when Jake tries to kind of chuck him a little bit, he can't throw him. You see, he's burying his head. He says, no, I know I need this. as a defense, okay? So it also could be for his offense later. Fireman's carries, things like that. So Jake is gonna learn the simple way of getting his head back into position. He's got his head, Nick has buried his head. Jake's gonna just duck his head down and roll it underneath, okay? The top and the back of our heads are hard skull. If we put that right under his face and his jaw, it's very hard for him to avoid it. Now, let's think about, I'm gonna change one part of the position. Let's go to the same position. And I want you guys to study, okay? Now, what happens if Jake goes slow motion to the same thing? He ducks the head. What's the problem right there?
He doesn't have wrist control.
And then what would Nick be able to do? He might be able to snap him. How about either with a wrist snap? How about letting go and snapping the head? Like when the head first came under, remember when you had your head position and his head came under? Just let go and pull. And don't leave your leg there. You don't leave your leg there. You got to sprawl at the same time, Nick. So go to that position. So what is the biggest difference is that we don't have control. It's a little dangerous. You can still do it, but it's a little dangerous. What if he releases, he goes immediately to a snap? He now has a tool in his right arm to start working. But if we have control, if we gain wrist control, at this moment in time, we go, we've got control of his right arm, we've got control of his left arm. Our head can violate the principle of posture and head position, or positioning, right, to gain head position. So if that makes sense to you, that was hopefully what we got from the drill. Remember the drill, pushing him out? Hopefully we got the feeling of, I have control. If I have control, guess what? He has head position. Watch this. My head's gonna go down. I'm not worried about guillotines, front headlocks, and I'm gonna get my head right back up. Try it again now. So now we're gonna do it right. So we're here, watch him. Try to keep that head in there, Nick. Yes, and now we got our head position back. See, let it come out. Let's do it 3 times. So keep it in there, Nick, as best you can. Nice. And one more. Nice, and got it back. Your turn, try it. So start with the bad head position, get your underhook. And now try to chuck him. Try to throw his head to the left. Yeah, it's not moving because the guy's tight. He's clamping. He doesn't want you to get that head position back. Go ahead, roll the head. Roll the head underneath the jaw, getting our head position. Let's try it again. Same thing, you got 2 more. 2 more. We want to make a drill, guys. Remember, make a drill out of it. Make a drill out of it. There you go. Beautiful. Fighting. And then I noticed right there at the end, you kind of turned your head a little bit to the right. Like keep your head. When I'm in here and he's burying his head in there, and I'm here, and I drive it in, look at my head. Guys, I'm not gonna just let him, he's gonna have to be the one to put, right now he's standing up straight, I might go for the attack, but if he gets hips back, you see where I'm controlling his head? I don't go like this. Like if I look here, he may battle like this, you see? Even if I have the wrist. Now look at my head. Coach, I got my head on the side, like you told me. But really, he's actually gaining some head position on me on this side. Now he has a nice little angle for an outside fireman. He'll shoot to this knee, to the right knee, and then boom, if he pulls the arm, no, you don't have to duck in. Outside fireman, you're on far leg, I'll fall right down. Boom, right there. So let's hit that little drill. Let's do this 3 times and then switch. Start with your head out of position. Control, underhook, wrist. I got you, boy. Roll it underneath. Keep your head up in a good position, driving in them. Let's go, 1, 2, 3. That's called head positioning. Do it.